Like I'm on Facebook Live. All right, all right. It looks like we got it going on. We are live on Facebook. All right, wonderful. Good morning, everyone. We're a minute ahead of time. I just wanted to try to get this together, make sure that everything works out. My name is Deanna, and I'm the PeachyPathfinder, and this is REGGIRT. So, Facebook, if I'm looking up and down, is because I've got both cameras going on. Let's see here. Let's see here. Action needed too low FPS. I don't know what that means. So, okay, I'm going to have to do some exact adjusting here. Okay, I don't know what this is about. I'll worry about this later. Um, okay, all right. Well, I did post a community post on my YouTube channel for those of you who are um, not subscribed to my YouTube channel. Please feel free to do so. But I also post my videos daily as they appear on YouTube. So, with that being said, I thought I would do a video recap of all the videos to kind of give you an idea of, what they're about and hopefully get your input on it. Of course, you guys know the rules. And the rules are that, be courteous, show respect. This is a community where everybody kind of expresses themselves, which is cool. You know, um, everybody has different opinions, and we should respect that. Be respectful to each other, and of course, be respectful to me because you're not going to be respectful to me. Bye bye to you. Bye bye to you. Um, Thank you again for your support thus far. I mean, it's great. I just started on TikTok a couple of weeks ago. Now on TikTok, I'm not uploading the videos that I have here, of course, because of the space requirements. I just basically put a lot of motivational quotes and things on there. You guys know how TikTok works. A lot of you Facebook people have supported me followed me on TikTok. I appreciate that. And for those of you who haven't, please do so. I post a lot of motivational quotes. I also uploaded a few cooking shorts from my PeachyPathfinder channel if you want to check that out as well. But I'm really focused a lot on the daily motivational quotes to kind of keep you going. And I post twice a day, once in the morning and once in the afternoon, to kind of just motivate people and keep them going. And of course, they are set to music for those of you who know how TikTok works. The TikTok does have a requirement as far as how many followers I need, and how much time I need, and how many views I need in order to go live on there. So I'm not there yet. So I'm hoping to get there very soon in order to simultaneously broadcast my live helping spirit on Sundays as well. So hopefully I'll be doing TikTok and YouTube and Facebook all at the same time on Sunday morning, so all three groups can view me. Because I understand that each community is some people are just exclusive to one group. Some people are exclusive to YouTube, some group is exclusive to Facebook, and some group is exclusive to TikTok. Not everybody crosses over to multiple social media outlets, and I get that. So thank you again for being patient for me coming over here, Facebook followers. I appreciate that for rocking with me until I was able to broadcast today. I'm so excited I was able to do that as we grow. And if you weren't able to watch my lives on YouTube that were previously aired on YouTube because I couldn't post them here, please feel free to do so. And we are growing there. I do appreciate the support, and I'm so thankful. The videos are daily uploads. They're uploaded shortly after midnight Eastern Standard Time, so feel free to do so. Check them out. And with that being said, 4:44 on the timer, 4:45 now. I want to go ahead and get started on these videos that we had during the week. And for those of you who haven't viewed them, they are available on Facebook as well as YouTube. Feel free to, review them and get back with me on your comments. Let me know what you think about them. What is your take on this? And thank you for whoever came in. Um, on Sunday, I uploaded a video called The Talkers. And a lot of us have had talkers in our lives, whether it be a relative or whether it be someone that we just happen to know. It's somebody who talks a good game, but they never back it up. They talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. Every time you ask them how they're doing, they always have some big, grandiose plan that they're going to do this, and this. But you never see any fruit. Even the word talks about a tree that doesn't have any fruit. It's always said, if you have a tree that has no fruit, chop the tree down. That's one of those situations. And these are the type of people, every time you see them, 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, they're doing the same thing they were doing the time that you last talked to them. But every time you talk to them, they've got this big, huge plan as to what they're going to do. Every time there's a situation, they're the first one to know about the whole situation. They know everything about everything, but their fruit just don't reflect what they're talking about. They're always talking, even when they're around a group of people. And these are people who usually have very low self-esteem. The only thing that they have is their mouth. Their mouth is their weapon. Their mouth is their mouth is the way that they present themselves to the world. That's the only way that they get by. These people have the gift of gab, and that's all they have. The only thing that they do is they talk their way through life. They talk their way into a job. They talk their way out of a job. They talk their way into a relationship. They talk their way out of a relationship. They talk their way into an education. They talk their way out of an education. They talk their way in and out of life. And at the end of the day, they don't have anything. They're empty-handed and empty-hearted. It's unfortunate. You got to be careful with these people because they're very persuasive and they're easy to suck you in because they know exactly what they say. They're very intuitive because they pick up on vibes. They'll scope people out. And what they'll do is they'll check you out and see how you move, and they see what you cater to. And what they'll do is they'll feed on that in order to get what they can out of you. They're very manipulative people. So when you come across somebody who is a smooth talker or whatnot, just see if they can back up what they say. That's all you've got to do. Get them to show you what they're talking about. Look for some tangible proof. And if you don't see any tangible proof, then you got a talker. These are time wasters. That's all they are. And you usually see a lot of these people, especially when they see that you're coming up on something, when you're looking to gain something, they have more to say, and they latch onto you like tree fungus. That's what talkers do. So you got to be aware of these folks. And these are also the type of people, when you go through something difficult, they're not around. They may do a lot of talking, but they will not offer any real support to you. That's what talkers do. So be aware of these people. So that was the video on Sunday. For those of you who haven't viewed it, those of you who need to view it, need a little reinforcement, you may have a talker in your life and you may need a little boost, please watch the video. Maybe it'll help you out because we all deal with talkers. On Monday, we had something in regards to business, your growing business, because on my channel I talk about a little about everything, relationships, family, business. And in your growing business, I kind of touched on the fact that a lot of people have businesses where they have a product or a service that's absolutely wonderful. But because of their mindset or because of their being so set in their ways, they do not want to expand their mind so they can expand their business. So I talk a little bit about some of the things that people deal with, some of the hurdles involved with growing pains. Some of the things that they may have to do involved with their business, some of the adjustments that have to be made when your business grows. It's not all about profits all the time. Sometimes you have to make adjustments in regards to your mindset, in regards to dealing with employees, technology, different areas of your business when it grows. It's not all about the money sometimes. So, for those of you who are going into business, currently in business, and your business is stagnant right now, you might want to check out that video and it might just motivate you a little bit, okay? I have a list here, so I'm kind of just going over it. Now, on Tuesday, On Tuesday, there was a video that I did called Family Pack or Family Herd. Now, this is very interesting because, every family has this. And it put me in the mind of the movie The Godfather, the original Godfather. Now, Godfather had a trilogy, 1, 2, and 3. And if you watch The Godfather, and I strongly encourage that you do, there are a lot of life lessons in that movie. Because, it's very traditional Italian family, and of course, and if you see that in a lot of families, they always assume that the oldest male child was the one to carry on the legacy, and in this particular situation, it turned out not to be the truth at all. It actually turned out to be that the baby boy wound up being the godfather. But what happened was, is with the baby boy, this is throughout the trilogy, he became very power hungry. And what happened with the power is not only did he do dastardly things, is that the family dynamic got thrown out of control because while he became power hungry, instead of just administering duties in the family, and this is the lesson that one of the lessons that I took away from it, is that he would have been a better godfather if he treated his family a little bit better. Instead of just trying to take everything over himself and do everything himself, if he had just given Connie certain duties based on her skills and ability, if he had given Fredo certain skills based on his ability, if he had, Sonny was already dead. That was his oldest brother, and that's why he became the godfather. But he had already given his brother Tom, his half brother Tom certain duties, but he was micromanaging everything to the point where, people couldn't do anything because he was power hungry. And see, that's what happens when you have a family herd versus a family pack mentality. When you deal with a herd of animals, and I kind of go into this in the video, in a lot of families, you always have that person that everybody turns to because they have a herd mentality. They were taught because of tradition or culture or whatever the case may be, that it just has to be one person that is designated as the one to handle all the decisions in the family. And that person may think it's a great deal in the beginning, but then they suffer a lot of stress behind it. And when they do need help from other people because they didn't utilize those people's talents, there could be some negative feelings behind that, because over a period of time, they would feel, okay, well, but they didn't ask for my help before. Why should I help them now? Because they didn't utilize my talents. So it's just really it's just really strange. And I'm suffering some delays with the Facebook live. I don't know why, but I'm going to just keep right on going until I can't go anymore. So Facebook, if I get cut off, I'm really, really sorry. I'll re-upload the live. If I do wind up getting cut off, I'll re-upload the live a little bit later on, okay? But I'm going to keep going until I can't go anymore. So hang in there with me, people. Um, but anyway, um, hi, Chad. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Chad. Yes, I try to keep it going. My hair is like this is called a boho goddess lock. And it's got little curls on the end. And I really love these because they have curls. So, and I actually have had them in for quite some time. So the key is to keep them moisturized, keep the scalp oiled, and tie them up at night. Okay. Thank you, Chad. And thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your support. We're going live here, people. We're impromptu. But in regards to the Tuesday video, if you haven't checked it out, yeah, please check it out and just look and see how your family is. If there's dissension in your family, it's probably because you have a family herd situation instead of a family pack. The family pack type situation in a family is more successful, I think, because in a pack, each individual member of the family has um, a particular purpose. They are identified for that purpose, and they are utilized. They feel important, and their talents are valued. Whereas in a herd, everybody kind of just sits back and all the responsibility falls on one person, and there's just negative feelings all the way around. So I kind of hope you get that. But yeah, that put me in the mind of The Godfather. And I think Mike's attitude, because there was a family herd mentality, because of him being power hungry, I think that partially led to his demise. Let me know what you think about that. If you watch The Godfather, maybe the next time you watch it, you might want to keep that in mind. But let me know if there are any Godfather fans in the in the comments as well, because I just love mafia pictures. You know, I grew up watching them. So anyway, Wednesday, very sensitive subject. I want to talk about this a little bit later on after I get through doing the list. Religious bullies. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Religious bullies. I know it's Sunday, so I know it might be touching on a little bit, you know, but religious bullies. And I wasn't going to do that video because I was a little hesitant. I said to myself, you know, what people might think I'm a heretic, that I worship the devil, and all this stuff. It has nothing to do with that, people. It was just something that was in my heart. I went to bed that night, as I do with a lot of my videos. I will go to bed at night, and when I wake up in the morning, Spirit will give me a message, give me a topic, and I just start talking. So it's not something that I premeditate, that I map out. These are messages that are given to me by Spirit, and I just go ahead and I just start talking. And then right before you know it, I said something and I don't realize what it is. And of course, I have to review what I say. And when I review what I say, I'll be like, did I say that? You know, so it's one of those things. So for those of you who have ever received messages from the beyond, you know, you're kind of like, I can't believe I said that, because it wasn't coming from you personally. It was coming from the spirit realm. Okay, so if you get what I'm saying. And thank you for the other person who came in. Welcome, welcome. So, religious bullies, yeah, basically. And I can speak on that because I'm going to give you a little bit of background as to where I came from. For those of you who did not watch my first REGGIRT Live, please feel free to do so, because it kind of gives a little background as to where I came from. And pardon me, I have to take a little bit of my drink. A little bit of orange juice with some water, diluted so it won't be so sweet, and a little bit of yohimbe extract. Yeah, you know I gotta do my herbs, y'all. Gotta do my herbs. Anyway, any of y'all know about yohimbe? Okay, yohimbe bark. And they got the extract going on. So I went and got a bottle of yohimbe extract off of Amazon. It's a little pricey, but it's worth it. And I put some in my beverage once a day, and it's very good. It dilutes very well. You can put it in juice, water, or whatever. It doesn't have a bitter taste or anything. But look it up. Yohimbe bark from the African yohimbe tree. Check it out and read up about the benefits of yohimbe. But yeah, religious bullies, they're out there. And there's a way to deal with them. And I want to talk a little bit more on that, because there are different tactics that they use to kind of convince you to do what they want you to do. And you have to be careful, because you don't want to be judged as a heretic or person who is a devil worshiper or whatever the case may be. And I'm far from it, but that's not my background. I'm just a non-denominational spiritualist. I believe in spirit, God, Jehovah, Yahweh, Jah, whatever you want to call him or her. Not gender specific, not particular name. And I do not believe in a specific denomination, even though I was raised a certain denomination. I am not anymore. But yes, I do believe in the presence of a spirit. And because of that, ever since I came to that realization, I encounter religious bullies even more so now. And they have different tactics that they use. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. So I'm going to go through the rest of my list in regards to the videos, and we're going to revisit this in a moment. Thursday, I did From Broken to Bondage. It kind of talks about how broken people with self-esteem problems kind of seek out other broken people who have less money or less material possessions than they do, and they'll help them in an effort to get those people to be emotionally or obligated or morally obligated to them. It's like this person, they want a person to be obligated to them so badly that they're willing to give up their resources in order to get somebody to worship them. You know, they want that. It's a form of idol worship. It's like emotional bondage, in short. So, it kind of goes a little deep, but check it out. That was Thursday's video. And Friday, a level playing field. It just basically overall talks about fairness in different types of relationships. Basically, don't ask for what you're willing to, if don't ask for what you're not willing to give, because it's going to come back and bite you in the butt later on. Don't turn around and ask for things in the relationship that you're not willing to reciprocate, because what's going to happen is either that person is going to leave because it's going to be a one-sided relationship, or they're going to get what's missing from somebody else. And that's what happens. Whether they look for that or it's presented to them, one way or another, they're going to get whatever's missing. So make sure the playing field is level, and make sure that whatever rules or whatever boundaries are set, make sure they are set in the beginning, so that way you'll know what direction the relationship is going. And lastly, yesterday's video was old pain, new romance. And this is very difficult as you go through life. It's very difficult to try to go into a new relationship if you still have old pain from the old relationship. And basically, the best thing to do is, if you're suffering from pain in an old relationship and you're not sure if you've gotten over it, is just to spend some time alone. Just spend some time alone and just make sure that you're in a healthy space before you get involved in a new relationship. And if a new relationship does present itself and it's a good one, just take it slow until you get to the point where you're willing to accept, the next level. And it's hard because you don't want to risk losing that person. But that's where open communication comes. And it could be a little tricky because that person might be at a level where you're not. But that's where the communication comes in at. So those were the 7 videos. I really would appreciate it if you leave me a comment and let me know what you think about those videos. Again, I thank you so much for your support as we grow. I'm starting to do some shorts, but I'm not going to be doing that many shorts since I'm doing the dailies. But I'm going to try to do a few. But, and again, I thank you for the support in regards to the merch. Again, if you would like to donate to the channel, I'm on CashApp, which is $PeachyPathfinder. I'm also on PayPal, which is the PeachyPathfinder. And I'm also on Buy Me a Coffee, which is REGGIRT, on buymeacoffee.com/REGGIRT. Again, I'm also on TikTok, and I'm trying to get that to grow to a point where I can do a simultaneous live, as I stated before. So, let's go back to this religious bullies thing, because it was in my heart this morning. I said I'm going to focus on one of the videos, and I wasn't sure which one I would focus on, but I was listening to a pastor this morning, and ironically enough, this particular pastor, because I just chimed in for a few minutes, and he was talking about how Christians in particular, because I listen to people from different faiths. For me, it's not so much which denomination it is. It's the meaning of the message, And I just happened to be channel surfing this morning while I was getting ready. And this particular pastor had talked about how Christians are just not showing compassion to people in the world. And that they're being, and I said to myself, I'm going to talk about, that'll be the video I'll talk about, because I posted religious bullies, and then I got confirmation through this pastor that that's the video that I should talk about, because he was talking about how, a lot of Christians are not being compassionate to people in the world, thinking that they're better than everybody else, distancing themselves from everybody else. Now, don't get me wrong. There is a time where you should distance yourself from people. There is a time. However, when you try to put yourself in a place just because of your status, whether it's economic or social or whatever the case may be, and you just ostracize people solely because of that, not because of an action that was done, then that's wrong, because that's discrimination. And the thing is, one of the ways, and I'm going to talk about a couple of the ways that religious bullies will come into play. Now, I'm going to talk about personal situations without mentioning any names. I'm going to talk about two of them, one at work and one in the community. Now, got a situation at work, have a coworker um, that I run into from time to time. And every time I see her, she's like, oh, praise the Lord, hallelujah, and blah, blah, blah. But she's the mouth of the whole place. If you want to know anything about anybody's personal life and what's going on and what's not going on and everything else, ask this person, she knows. And she's got a comment about it. Now, there's nothing wrong with being concerned about somebody else's situation. Excuse me, it's the juice. There's nothing wrong with being concerned about somebody else's situation. I think we should all be a little bit more concerned about each other's situation. There should be more concern and care about each other's situation. But there's a line. Some of these people who call themselves born again kind of use that as an excuse to be nosy. And they'll cloak it in Christian care as an excuse to be nosy and as an excuse to be critical. So the minute that something happens in somebody's life, they're hitting the floor in the airwaves with that person's business, and that's not right. So I make it a point when I'm at work, I'm very selective about what personal things I talk about. Like, for instance, today is Sunday. Today is a day where I do a lot of cooking. I don't mind telling you guys that. Because I have split days off. I have one weekday during the week, and I have Sundays off. Because of that, I have to split my chores accordingly. So what I do is I batch cook on Sundays because I don't eat out a lot. I'm not trying to get killed and going to all these places. And I'm not trying to say this to be funny, but all these fast food places, I hear all these stories about people getting poisoned and all these hidden fillers and calories and stuff in food. I can't afford to be eating a whole bunch of calories. It's very expensive going out to eat nowadays and things like that. I don't have time to be trying to figure out what I'm going to eat when I get off in the evening. So what I do is on Sunday is I'll cook a whole lot of food and I'll package it up, and then that way when I come home in the evening, all I have to do is just put a plate together, stick it in the microwave, and I might cook a little vegetable on the side, to go with it, something that I could warm up real quick, or warm up some bread or something to go with it. But for the most part, my mains are done. And then if I go out to eat, it'll probably maybe one day, if that, grab a little something, to treat myself. But that's it, to keep the budget down, because it's expensive going out to eat every day, And so I'm going to cook up a whole bunch of food today. So when I go into work tomorrow, of course, everybody knows, oh, Deanna, what you cook yesterday? And I'll tell them. I won't tell them the recipe, of course, but I'll tell them, And that's it. So I'm very selective about what I talk about in my life. They know that, that I have a partner. They don't know the seriousness of the relationship. They know that, that I have somebody. They don't know if I'm going down the aisle, if we getting ready to split up today or tomorrow. They don't know all the details. They don't know how often we see each other. They very seldom see us together. If they do, it's just very, it's very civil. It's nothing where they say, oh, I saw them necking or anything like that. I saw them kissing and all. No, nothing where it's like a whole bunch of affection or anything like that. It's just two people, and they see us, walking together or, but nothing physical. So they don't even know the level of that, and we keep it that way. Um, they know that I live in the area, but most of them don't even know my address, except for the people in personnel, and they're supposed to know. So I keep my information limited because I learned a long time ago when I was in the workforce is that the less information you know personally, the better, because you don't know the mindset of people you work with. You really don't. There's a lot of jealousy in the workplace regardless of what industry you're in, especially if you're a hard worker and you do a good job. And people will get you into trouble. I do not hang out with a lot of coworkers. I do have a few coworkers that I talk to from time to time, but as far as like going out every single day all the time, nope, because I got burned a long time ago behind that. There was something negative that occurred that I had nothing to do with, and my name got dragged into it. And even though nothing happened to me in the end, the fact that I was even brought into the situation, that bothered me because that wasted my time for no reason. And I was mad behind that. So I'm like, if I come to work, I came to work to work. I didn't come to work for any foolishness. That's just me. You know, and some of you are like, well, you know, it's not a big deal. You didn't get in any trouble. The point that you wasted my time behind this period and it didn't have anything to do with my job, that's enough for me. Okay? So, you know, you guys might think I'm being too hard about that, but I'm sorry. I'm here to do a job. I could care less about this other stuff. And the fact that you even took 5 minutes of my time to bother me with it, that bothered me. So at that point, I started looking for another position, and I obtained one because I said to myself, if this is how y'all operate around here, I don't want to be part of it, and so I moved on. Um, so you know, this particular person, she's extra like that, and then I found out the reason why a little bit later on is because her personal life's not that great. But this is the person that's like, praise the Lord, hallelujah, and reading the Bible and quoting scriptures at lunch break and watching podcasts of this pastor and that pastor, and the skirts down to the knees and hardly any makeup and hardly any jewelry. I mean, picture perfect. And the husband with the three-piece suits every day, and on the usher board and the deacon board and the board and the board and the board. Yeah, one of those types. And my thing is this, I was raised up in the church, and like I said, watch the video that I did, my very first live. It gives you the background. 4 generations of teachers and preachers, been there, done that. If you're going to play the role, play it 100%, because God's watching. Don't play that game. I've been around people like this. They're the ones with the very most to hide. The very most to hide. But they present themselves to the world like they're squeaky clean. They weren't squeaky clean. And there's always that one person that knew them back in the day where they weren't squeaky clean. Always that one person that knows the backstory. So you ain't fooling nobody. Now that's that one person. So I keep my business very limited to that person. And these people are relentless, because when they get a person like me who doesn't open up very much, every given opportunity, they're always asking a probing question to try to get in your doggone business. That's one kind of religious bully. You got to be careful of these people, because they're syrupy sweet. And right before you know it, you done slipped and told something. It could be just a very small thing, and then all of a sudden at the end of the day, by the time it comes back to you, it's some weird convoluted story that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. And you wouldn't even think in your mind it was that so-called holy roller, but that was the one who started the story. So be careful of these people. That's a religious bully right there. And then every 2 seconds they asking you, why don't you come to Bible study? We're having family day. Why don't you come over to this celebration and da-da-da. And that was the person who started in the first place. So you got to be careful. Be careful. The ones who are the true Christians, the true believers, they keep their mouth shut. They're not up in everybody's business like that. They're hardworking. They have a soft word. They're very kind. They're very gentle. They just speak general conversation. They're not all up in your business. Those are the true ones. Those are the real ones. They don't do stuff like that. Okay. There are people in my neighborhood. They'll ask me, "Why don't you come?" "Oh, I want you to come to so and so. I want you to come to so and so. I want you to come to so and so." Okay, that's nice. They don't see me much because all I do is come and go. When I leave the house, I leave the house. When I come home, I come home. I don't hang in the streets. I don't hang on the street corners. This is not that type of neighborhood. We have people hanging in the streets anyway. So when they do see me, and they know I don't say much and I don't divulge not much and I don't have a whole bunch of stuff in the street, it's their way to try to get to know me. Why don't you come to so and so? They want to try to get to know me and get all up in my business because they don't know that much about me. So they can run tell that. And then they want to do that too because they want to go back. They want to go to, bring me in and say, "Oh, well, I've got a visitor. I've got a visitor. I'm bringing people to church. I'm increasing the congregation." They want to try to bring you in so they can increase the congregation. New members equal new dollars. And I hate to say that, but that's another form of religious bullying. You've got some people that all they do is want people to come to church with them, not because they're interested in you worshiping with them, not because they're concerned about your religious walk, not because they're concerned about, your spiritual life, or they want a prayer partner, because they want you to come in and be a regular member because the church needs a new heating system, or the choir wants to, they want some more money. So they figure if they're on this huge membership drive and get folks, every person that they get in contact with, get more folks to come in, that means is there more money in the collection plate. And guys, I hate to say it, but they're out here. They're out here. That's another religious bully. So like I said, there are some real God-serving people that are out here. These may be people who don't go to church every Sunday because they have work. Or maybe because they're not associated with a certain denomination. Or maybe because they have other obligations that prevent them from doing it. That doesn't make them bad people, but they're serving God every single day by what they do and how they act. They work hard. They mind their own business. They pray and meditate and serve their Lord every single day. They do good deeds. They have good words to say to everybody. They walk the walk. They just don't talk the talk. They're not just talkers. They don't have ulterior motives. They don't bully people into doing what they want to do. They don't discriminate against race and creed and color and denomination and everything like that. They don't do that because they know what the word says and they follow what the word says. They do their level best every single day to try to follow the word. They understand that they're not perfect. They don't try to profess to be perfect, and they don't pick on other people who aren't perfect. They come in a spirit of help like the word tells them to do, regardless of what their denomination is. And they make an effort every single day to be thankful for what they have and make it a point to share that with others and be a testimony to what's been given to them. So that's the difference. So hopefully that will kind of help you out, so it'll be easier for you to identify religious bullies and stay away from them. And the best way to deal with them is to stay away from them. Because they are so religious, you can't tell them anything. You cannot engage with them in any arguments, because all they're going to do is pull out whatever scripture they have and sit there and try to point it out to you and try to tell you how and try to make you look stupid, no matter what your background is. Like I stated before, I come from 4 generations of teachers and preachers, and I still have baby Christians that only been saved for 2 days trying to tell me about what I know about the 66 books of the Bible, even though I have told them my background. They still going to tell me that they know better than me, and I'll be like, okay. Okay. Now, I'm not professing to say that I know everything, but I'll be doggone. You just got dunked in the water 3 days ago. And I got dunked 55 years ago. You got to be careful when you're dealing with people. And for you to even approach me like that, instead of a spirit that you're supposed to be approaching me with love and compassion and understanding and generosity like you're supposed to, you're coming to me bogarting. You doing this whole thing wrong from jump anyway. You're already bullying. You're already bullying. And you just got dunked 3 days ago. Okay. So your best bet is to just ignore them. Just ignore them. Let them say what they got to say. Make it quick. Make it simple. Let them move on. And just keep your distance. Just keep your distance. Limit your association with them. Because that's something that spirit has to deal with. There's nothing you can do. Arguing with them is not going to work. It's just not. So as again, as far as my background, my religious background, being exposed to these type of people, please watch my first video, REGGIRT Live on YouTube is on there, and I think I reposted it on Facebook as well, Facebook. But again, I thank you guys for coming in. But I hope this video recap does help out a lot. And again, I'm still doing the dailies. It's still going on. And I wanted to give an announcement as well. In a few weeks in September, it's going to be like the third or fourth weekend. It's going to be like fourth Sunday in September. I want to say the fourth Sunday. Get me to thinking here. Yeah, the fourth Sunday in September. I will not be televising from my living room. I'll be on location, but I will be doing a Sunday live, but it will be out of town. I'll tell you where I'll be later, but watch out on the community post. It'll be a special location. But I want to thank you very much for your support. Donation information is going to be in the description of my video that I upload. Merch link is in my community post. And I think I posted it on Facebook. If not, I'll see if I can find a way where I did do a post on Facebook in regards to my merch link. But I'll repost it again. If you want to reach out to me personally, my email is reggirt@myyahoo.com. That's REGGIRT @myyahoo.com. Thank you very much again for supporting me as we grow together. I do hope that my words assist only if it's just one person, if it helps you in your situation, and everything is just based on what I went through. In my point of view, my lessons that I've learned based on what I experienced. I'm not going to talk about anything I don't know anything about. If I don't know, I'm not afraid to say I don't know, because I'm still going through this thing called life just like you guys. And again, thank you for your support. I'll see you guys next Sunday, and I'll offer you protection, power, peace, prosperity. And I'm going to call it a day. Talk to you guys next time.